gentlemen, please welcome Chief Justice Roberts to administer the presidential oath of office.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
That I will faithfully execute.
That I will faithfully execute.
The office of President of the United States.
The office of President of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability.
And will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
Preserve, protect, and defend.
The Constitution of the United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
America first. We're going to also slash something else, the waste in our bloated federal bureaucracy. On day one, I will launch the largest deportation program in American history.
Governor Cox also cites a memo that Bernanke's office issued a memo calling Utah a sanctuary state.
Will there be collateral arrests? Yes.
However, Mormon extremists disregarded federal warnings and established Port Joe Smith.
Travis Wayne Goodsell, we get to do breaking news along with church news. We have a couple of apostles who attended a KKK rally. And in case you are ignorant about the KKK and their secret code words, America First is their secret code for their white supremacist Christian nationalism. And so anybody saying America First, you gotta look at him and go, oh, KKK. He's the enemy of mankind. And yet, 2 apostles of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints attended a KKK rally, where the head lead speaker announced over the pulpit, America First, along with some other stuff that goes along with that theme. One of which was manifest destiny, to go beyond our borders and impose imperialism upon other nations. If you're unaware of imperialism, you've not been watching Star Wars, where the Republic becomes the Imperial, with the Imperial leader and the Imperial Guard. And so, hey, that can be the theme song in the description below. And there was some also another curious thing that came from that. He brought up William McKinley, President William McKinley. He did not go into his presidency. He was the very last president when he was assassinated as president, and then the Civil War under Lincoln. Very curious. Very curious. He was a Republican like Lincoln, but this was pre-World War II Republicans with the Democrat platform of today. McCarthy, Senator McCarthy, after World War II, was pouting about how Nazis got destroyed during World War II. And even though we gave asylum to Nazis, I found out there was a Mormon who was a Nazi who came to Utah, of whom the prophets executed. We'll see if I ever get to that video. YouTube is under full attack today. During the inauguration, it was like trying to look up the Jews on the internet during Easter. There was a total media blackout, for me at least. Dear God. So, very interesting with that kind of speech. As I've been going over with you the Book of Mormon and how true it is, and Mormons are upset with me because the Book of Mormon is true. Mormons hate the Book of Mormon. Mormons lie about the Book of Mormon and don't believe in the Book of Mormon, as they don't even follow the Book of Mormon, as is evident by how they treat me, one who believes in the Book of Mormon and preaches the Book of Mormon on my channel. I'm a religious leader. The KKK leader was talking about how he's bringing back religion to America, religious freedom. Well, not for me. Not for me. And that's why those two apostles went. They were in meetings there in D.C. about all this. 3 Nephi, chapter 7. Been going over it with you because this is it. It just happened because Nelson failed in 2021. Again, Oakes confessed that the church has been a part of all of this. And I've been going over the research that I've been doing, exposing that it goes all the way back. They're the ones who murdered Joseph Smith, stole his religion and the Book of Mormon, turning it Christian, which is why all Mormons to this day hate Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon as Jewish. And they threaten and intimidate me to try to deny knowledge of the fact that they're Jewish, not Christian. The secret combination is pure evil. And here we go. So put all of it together. I know I have associative memory, so people may not catch on. So I have to keep repeating things over and over again. Now behold, I will show unto you that they did not establish a king over the land. That was 2021. Oakes confessed. 2020 was just going to be a test run. 2021, January 6th. Book of Mormon already knew that that was going to be the case. But in this same year, the 30th year, 2021, used the Jewish religious calendar specifically. They did destroy upon the judgment seat, yea, did murder the chief judge of the land. They failed. That's why it was very interesting that the KKK leader, whose father was arrested in Queens back in the day at a KKK rally that turned violent. That's why we know he's connected to the KKK when he says America first. They failed. And so for that KKK leader to announce today America first, and President McKinley, who was assassinated before the Civil War began, did murder the chief judge. An assassination. But they failed. And now the KKK leader is talking about it again. We've all been hearing that there's going to be a civil war in America. Pay attention to what's coming in the next couple of days, unless you are locked up, murdered, or deported. Which is pretty much everybody in America. How is America going to get rich if everybody's gone? Oh, right, the stock market. You don't need people with digital currency. Just like the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is so filthy rich, they don't need members anymore. The interest alone will keep them running indefinitely. Oh my hell. And so, you then read on that they destroy the federal government. And I've shown you that clip from that KKK leader, the Grand Dragon himself. who talked about gutting the federal government, destroying it, replacing it. He's just declared himself the imperial leader with manifest destiny. That's what he meant. He's turning America into an imperial form of government. That's a violation of the Constitution. Nonetheless, the regulations of the government were destroyed because of the secret combination of the friends and kindreds of those who murdered Joseph and Hiram. Hip ancestors are running government and operations here in the state of Utah. Descendants, not ancestors. And so, this is where verse 9, because they failed in 2021, is now rebooting 2021 from the beginning of 3 Nephi 7, verse 9. Now this secret combination, and in case I have to redo it for you because you haven't watched when I went over these videos with you. Illuminati, Johann Adam Weishaupt, 1st of May, 1776. Yeah, next year, the KKK leader is going to have a big celebration for that anniversary. Just like Brigham Young did when the Nauvoo Temple was finally dedicated months after it was finished. He waited till that day to dedicate it, and that's why there's inverted pentagrams on it. X-File never mows, never get a clue about that. Yeah, Joseph put it on. He was dead. He didn't put it on. And at the War of 1812, Illuminati in America had infiltrated the Scottish Rites, Freemasonry. And William Morgan found out their plot for this latter days. Thus is why it's in the Book of Mormon, keys. And the Scottish Rites were stopped as the William Morgan incident on 9/11/1826 occurred by that hero that nobody else could have figured out, except for those of you who've been watching my channel videos, for whom we get the Book of Mormon from, because he was the Master Mason in Canandaigua, New York, helping William Morgan write the book, and made sure, because he was the Master Mason, that it got finished and published to the world to warn of this latter-day threat. And so the scattering of the Illuminati of the Scottish Rites, some went to Canada, some stayed, some went south, some found out who that Master Mason was, and infiltrated his religion, the Church of Christ. And they were attempting to sabotage it the whole time. Joseph Smith says it very clearly what they did. Evil disposed and designing militant persons. Verse 1 of the visionary accounts. Because they changed the name of Joseph's church. And so, yeah, they had him murdered. And then that group of Illuminati then went west into Mexico territory, into this valley, to establish their kingdom. And so after the Civil War, because the Carthage jail thing had Joseph Smith out of the running to be the assassinated president back then. And so that then became McKinley, with Abraham Lincoln as well. And so, after the Civil War, Confederates were converted to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and came and founded the land of Dixie in Utah. And then there was another group that the leader formed the KKK movement, and they were Democrats in government platform, and that's why during World War II we were hesitant to stop Hitler because they were bestest buddies with Hitler. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was bestest buddies with Hitler. Moroni and the swastika. And so then after World War II, you get the rise of the Republican Party becoming neo-Nazi fascists, with McCarthy's hearings to go after name calling of communist, the fear tactic blacklisting. And then Nixon's campaign was the first to show that the Illuminati had taken over the GOP, as the campaign buttons turned the stars on the elephant upside down, round and round, inside out. Boy, you moon, turn me. Yeah, something like that. Been a while. And so then you get a whole bunch of white supremacist Christian nationalist groups that pop up. 19th century evangelicals, pissed that they weren't able to force their literalist Bible interpretation on the public school system, decided to do an underhanded tactic similar to the Illuminati, and thus the doctrines of Lucifer that Albert Pike talked about in his threat to overthrow the world to Giuseppe Mazzini began activated, taking away agency, forcing other people to believe and do as you say they need to do. And then they became televangelists. Heber J. Grant reincorporated the corporation, not the church. We're not a church. That's the trick. They lie. We are not a church. We are not a religion. It is a corporation using Mormons as the slaves to commit crimes and prostitute the wives, to fund the operation that funds terrorism to overthrow the United States of America, and used the KKK leader, I'm not going to say his name, because he even said he had his ear blown off. Really? Really? Anybody notice the new picture of him that makes it more clear about the bullet hole? A poor firefighter. He was the target of the assassination, and nobody pursued an investigation into that. Dear God. And so, yeah, here we are. Council for National Policy began under Reagan, in which the church was a major part of directing that operation, and everything since Reagan that has taken away rights from the Constitution, you can tie directly to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, aka the corporation. From tinkle-down economics to overthrowing Roe v. Wade, to, as Oak said, rigging every single election, at least 2016, 2020, and 2024. That's what Oak said. Why would he lie? He's a living prophet of Jesus. And so there's some interesting stuff that is going to happen that the Book of Mormon already tells us is going to happen. Mormons don't believe, and they're never going to look it up. They won't even understand it because they think it's literal history. Because they don't use the learning of the Jews of prophecy and revelation. And so, yeah, this group just had him become king over their band. And so, yes, what happens after is going to be interesting to see how it will unfold since they failed in 2021. They're rebooting it this year. And so far, it's happened. Jacob is now king. So pay attention. It's going to suck because now, instead of getting a group from Utah and the United States to Zion and try to figure out how to get the rest of the world to Zion to join us, now it's everybody is gone from America and I'm alone in America trying to figure out how am I going to get everybody who's outside of the United States back into the United States to Zion. Talk about your impossibilities for a guy who's not immortal. Who's just a man. Even though I parted the waters in 2020. Dear God, you guys make it tough for me. You chose not to believe, and now you've got the consequences. So, there you have it. So it's unclear as to how severe the attacks on me are going to continue to get. Beyond what they've already been since Friday. I was talking to you about maybe doing playlist video series with episodes numbering for whatever I need to go over with you. But it's unclear. You know, despite the KKK leaders saying that he's not going to allow anybody to intimidate and bully. Yeah, well, not for me. I'll still be intimidated and bullied to shut up. Shut up, Travis. Shut up. You're exposing our secret combination. Shut up. Shut up. So that's the church news. And it's only 23 minutes? Did I get shut down by YouTube? It's shutting the... This should be hours long. What's going on?